You know, you, you have to look at life in perspective. You have to take it in perspective. And a lot of people, you're deluded. You think you're somebody special. Um, I know all faithful people are special. Uh, all unfaithful people are deluded and think they're somebody special, but they're not special because they're not faithful, right? They're just another insidious, disgusting liar, right? Now, I don't worry about that because more people know and knew who Adolf Hitler was than Haile Selassie, right? And Mussolini, well, mostly Hitler, right? Because he was known for mass murdering people to liquidate their money so he could build a war machine to feel powerful, like all you assholes that vote for president on TV. And more people knew who Tiberius was than Jesus of Nazareth. More people knew who Caesar was than John. Okay, obviously John was hiding from the Roman turd bags trying to kill him, and so more people knew who Andrew Jackson was, and Tippecanoe and Tyler 2 and Polk and all those murderers than they knew who Joseph Smith was, right? So I'm like, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm faithful. And they had that article in National Geographic. Was King David Israel a big metropolis thing or a cow town? It was a cow town. Yeah. We didn't have to build big cities until you all came in big murdering, raping hordes that you considered legal. Other than that, it was like, when we had Samson and it's all good, and it got horrible. And then we had to start, I'm doing a great work. I have to build this wall around my people to keep them safe from mass murdering hordes of sociopaths, right? And then you have all these people and these advertising things, stuff. Football taught me to do this and that. Exercise is exercise. But when you make it for murder, for money, you're just like Goliath. You're just a murderer. You're just putting on a show for money and sex. And so, and this is way different than Judah Krishnamurti's time. More people knew who Brezhnev and Gorbachev and Reagan and all that than they knew who Judah Krishnamurti was. But there was prophecy, tons of prophecy to say this is the man like the Krishna and the Buddha. But hardly anybody knows who Judah Krishnamurti is. A lot of Indians don't know. Like when I talked to Chilita Napawe, okay, who was raised and went to school in the presidency of Nelson Mandela, and he had no idea who Stephen Bantu Biko was. I was like, dude, you should. I'm talking about Steve Biko, okay? Someone from South Africa, that should be like the Kennedys in Massachusetts, the Kennedys of gods, right? Victorian Tringay, Neil Hackett, They know who Bishop Tutu is. Okay. And they knew who Nelson Mandela is. The guy who got violent and angry and set up the arrest and them able to get him alone and kill him because he was the head of the organization. Mm-hmm. They know who he is. But the peaceful man who was articulate and made them all look like a bunch of animals fighting over fuck money that's not valuable, he didn't know who Steve Biko was. So I'm good. It's all good. Like my brother-in-law Punchy says, it's all good. It's all good. So where I'm at, I'm all right. Most people don't know who Judah Krishnamurti is. Most people, don't know who Steve Biko is. Most people don't know who, Haile Selassie is, or DT Suzuki, or, and just like me. So, I'm in good company. That one sorry ass son of a bitch at the Fry's in Sierra Vista, you're an idealist and you get people killed. Yeah. According to murdering piles of shit like you, I don't get people like you killed. You kill yourselves by killing each other over money with technology. Okay. I'm the light and I'm the way. I'm the way, the truth, and the life. You get these guys on these games, right? When they told me about the dynamic in Sierra Vista and they started letting me know about the human trafficking that was happening because of this business that they're still running. I was like, oh my God, what if that was my Natalie? What if that was my Kate, my Emmy, you know, I want my girls to be able to, you know, marry a faithful Christian or a Muslim, right? Person that believes in God, has faith that God is the essence of all existence, and wants to live the commands and the love of the Lord eternally. I'll be loving you eternally, right? And so that's what you want, right? That's what you want for them. It was, I'm not, my relationship with my daughters was my relationship with my daughters, and me and Natty didn't get to have that relationship that me and Kate and Emmy got to have for a brief amount of time. And it was manipulated by a bunch of perverts so she could follow my lead in behaviors to try to get through it. And she did a good job. And I did a good job. It was hard. But my relationship with Natalie was to catch all the perverts in the Temple of Set Illuminati and Church of Scientology and the Vatican and the Quorum of the 12 with their pants down, like Ronnie, my Chiricahua friend, used to say, you caught them with their pants down, Parsons. I didn't mean to. I did not mean to. I asked him in 2009, let's apply the physics of the Lord's Prayer, Like if you're playing basketball with a bunch of macho motherfuckers around here like they used to do when I was a kid, He plays like a Joto Negro. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm feeling a real good move coming on. Oh, I'm going to shoot. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's so good. And look at you. When I make these wonderful moves, you look so sexy because your mouth is also wide open. And then they get all macho with you, just like, you thought you could kick my ass in basketball. What makes you think you can kick my ass now, motherfucker? Shut up. Put your jaw back together and sit down. Okay. You're funny. I know. It's just not worth your time to get into it with a macho bullshit artist who thinks he's better than you when he's obviously not. You just have to just sit there and go, hey, I quit playing sports because you sucked, not because I did. I dropped out of school because it was genocidal, not because I wasn't capable of understanding the curriculum and how much this sucks. Okay, do you understand? I'm one of the most important human beings in the history of the planet. That's why my life story is in the book of Revelation and yours is not, right? Did you drop out of school because it was genocidal? Did you stand up to stop human trafficking in Cochise County when they exposed themselves to you and said, you're like, Jesus, what are you going to do? Well, I'm going to go on YouTube and I'm going to say, hey. And then I'm going to ask all these people in these exploited countries that I don't know what's going on to get in touch with me and, And they had people get in touch with me. Oh, no, he works for them. He's one of them. Oh, okay. And then what happened? Then I got put on a, subversive American list where they could abuse me with linguistics from the Pentagon and the Supreme Court. Yep, I caught them with their backfield in motion. Gonna have to penalize you. Yeah, you know what's going to be so nice is football in the future with no Geico commercials. No State Farm commercials. No sitcoms. Yeah. No people making fun of people being murdered by the Industrial Revolution and economics at a place they call a hospital where they keep you comfortably numb with drugs and put your body back together after you've been destroyed by economics. Right? And they think this stuff's high drama or very funny. And, I used to laugh at MASH when I was a kid, but I was just as dumb as fuck as you all was. And I understood the sarcasm for the hypocrisy. And I didn't think there was anything I could do about it. Well, then I grew up. Jesus told me when I was a kid, that I was going to, right? And I was sitting there like, Jesus, you're crazy, He told me, because I sat there and he goes, you're going to be a lot like, Steve Biko and all these people you admire. I said, really? I said, but Jesus, I'm not a rich politician person like the Kennedys, and I'm not black. What's that got to do with anything, Earl? Okay? There's a man who's truthful and faithful and does the right thing, right? And then there's people that don't accept him because they're selfish. Oh. It's going to be so nice to have TV without commercials. Okay? It's going to be wonderful, man. Because there won't be any of this stupid shit like this Discover card commercial. These two people sitting on a phone and people holding food hostage and saying, this one's on me. No, you got to pay for that. We are paying for it. You're denying the Lord's Prayer worldwide. People are being mass murdered so you can have lots of money and participate in propaganda and contest to mass murder them so you can have money to manipulate people with technology to feel powerful and sexy. You sick fucking ugly bastard and bitch. I don't give a rat's ass or a fuck if you don't like me and you think I'm a bad person, you disgusting pile of shit. Do you understand? The only thing you're good for is manure. You put manure on me rhubarb, manure on me flowers, put manure on your rhubarb. We have cream on ours, right? You're a twit. So that ain't really St. Nicholas. That's some stupid ass actor who's doing stuff for stuff being held hostage. With some woman running around in a faith-forsaken fucking murdering Mercedes. So, Hitler's cars. What is living Christmas presents in Hitler cars? Oh, wow, holiday love celebration. Delivering Christmas products for philanthropy and rape and genocide and prostitution and brotheldom in Hitler cars. Wow. Well, we're just snappy and nice, like Amy and Yorg have told me. Well, they wear such nice uniforms. Mass murdering people to liquidate their assets, have a war machine, so we can have people be engaged in business of, business prostitution instead of holy covenants. But they sure are snappy, nice dressers, right? Jesus, we were wearing Shepherd Road sandals, and we couldn't be allowed in just Muskogee, Oklahoma, because we had beards and long hair, because that was to show that we, wanted to be able to have good prayer signals to our descendants and our ancestors, and beards to show that we were married and faithful to our family, those old traditions, old rabbinic traditions, yeah. And we didn't wear opulent clothing. We wore good clothing and healthy clothing, and we didn't make a show of being too clean or too dirty or anything like that. We worked, you got up, you washed your clothes, you did the best you could. And you did it right. If you were too obsessed about being clean, it breaks down your immune system. If you're too dirty, it breaks down your immune system. You got to understand balance, harmony, understanding. Okay? Different environments require a different amount of cleanliness. Okay? Where you have more water, you can clean up with water a little bit more. Where you have less water, you're more intelligent with the way you use water, like a Navajo and a Apache. Okay, do you understand? If you wash too much, it makes you sick. In certain environments, yes. I wash every day. Yeah, I wash my bum because I got chemical poisoning from all the cars and these. You have to. It's something you can't let tradition. They didn't have carbon emission vehicles in Cochise's land, okay? They didn't have herbicides and pesticides, okay? If you could make a time machine and you could move your relatives from certain, they would die within a week because they wouldn't have an immune system that could handle all the poisons. They probably think better than you, but it only lasts for a week, and then you would kill them all, you roaches. Rat bastards. And I can't describe the feelings that I'm thinking right now. I'm the same way. The guy on the end of the World Series said, I can't describe the emotions. I stood up to redeem the Gospels, and I get treated like shit by assholes. And I had a lady who looks like, a grown-up adult woman with little girls get raped to death in the brothels in Mexico that I stood up to stop all by myself in Sierra Vista, and I'm still doing so. And that bitch looked at me and said, are you going to pay for my groceries? And I looked at her and said, no, I'm the living embodiment of the Lord's Prayer. You won't have to pay for groceries anymore once I'm done cleaning up this hellhole and this prostitution ring and this whorehouse. And she said, he's open over there. I was like, yeah, you know that. I'm going to go talk to him because I don't want to waste my time talking to you anymore. Right? I can't describe the emotions that are going through right in my head right now. You redeem the Gospels and you get treated like that. Pay slave rape money from her food that's held hostage by Hitler and Hitler-Oriented bastards. Wow. Would you start? Then you're like, this is how they would talk to Jesus. David Rockefeller. They'll gladly kill over me and my grandpa's money and watch you and your Jesus die, Parsons. No wonder they think they're not good enough to get into heaven and they need Jesus to do it for them. I'm working on it.